Everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jorvik and welcome back to Cade City. As you can see behind me, the Freedom Tower is done from the previous episode, and why I say that it looks beautiful, at least from here. But we are on top of the newly christened media tower, as I'm going to call it, because if we turn around, this is now my office. Welcome to the new office for Jorvik Studios. This is gonna be just like probably where I start all videos from now on. This is something I used to do way back in the day when I started this world, circa like 2012, 2013. I had an architecture tower, and that's where my office was, where I started the videos. So today I thought it'd be funny to just kind of start here as well, just for old time sake. The agenda for today is to kind of go over things that I've done off camera, and then we are going to work on the bank building, and then finally we are going to start mapping out and placing down blocks for new buildings that are going to be surrounding the media tower. So let's get into it. So first things first is that you can see that the Freedom Tower is done. Obviously we need to work on the inside, but all of the glasses and the details are put on the outside, and there is lighting on the inside as well. But for the outside, I went ahead and got rid of the deep slate brick walls that I had here, and just went with just the quartz blocks. I just think they look a lot better. And then of course, just filled in the edges with these slabs, and then I added some greenery up here with some trap doors just to add a little bit of color up here as well. And that's pretty much it. Other than that, Freedom Tower is done. I'm going to be decorating this kind of block here, but that could be a different video, or I'll just do it off camera, whatever. But other than that, we are going to put some row buildings here, kind of like that. Some office buildings here, but we can plan those out later. Another thing I did is I started to just fill in all these slabs, basically like these concrete pads, just around all of these buildings. We are going to be fixing them up when we are building them, but this just to kind of lay the groundwork for future projects. Another thing I did was to clear this road, and I'm going to make this another kind of artillery road that basically matches that one and runs perpendicular. It actually worked out perfectly that this was like maybe 1 or 2 off the size of that one, so these are going to basically intersect. This is going to continue north, and then that's going to continue west that way. I also got rid of these houses here to make way for this road. We will be replacing them, putting more buildings kind of like that here, and smaller kind of like office buildings as well into this area to replace the houses that were here. And the reason for that is I didn't want these houses to kind of be like on a main road. Obviously that happens in real life. There's tons of houses that are on like highways. I didn't want these houses here. I will probably rebuild those houses elsewhere, make like a proper neighborhood, but for now this is going to be empty. Okay, so with that out of the way, those are everything that I pretty much did off camera. Nothing too crazy, just some minor cleanups. So let's go over to the bank building, and we are going to be talking about the plan for that. So here is the bank building. So the reason why I want to change is because obviously originally before this road was here, I kind of like to keep like a 3-block gap for this sidewalk here. And obviously because the road has changed, now we have this giant gap over here. Now I could just leave it and make this like a big promenade, which, is an option. But I think that we can just add on to this building and just kind of clean up this area a little bit. So as you can see here, I already placed some blocks. This would keep the 3-block gap, but I think it'll be a little too small for this area. So we actually might move these back a little bit, but we are basically going to just continue this wall. So we are definitely going to have to take off some of these decorations to make it seem seamless. but that'll be pretty easy. Okay, so that is the extension done. Obviously, I'm gonna have to do some work on the inside, take down those walls, and just kind of extend it. But that's pretty much what we're going to do there. That actually gives us a pretty good look on how far we should extend this. And I'm thinking that let's extend it out this way because I want to leave room for obviously some more buildings here, but that kind of connect to this style here. So we're probably just going to go right about there. That way that'll keep with that, and then that'll be the beginning of. Okay, so that is a good start to that. I kind of like how it breaks up here on this corner to kind of give it, you know, some extra breathing room, but we are going to leave that for now. And we are going to start to work on developing a new building right here. Like I said, connect to this building to kind of make this one big kind of city block. We'll connect it here and we will pull this all the way down. Not that far. We'll probably keep the 5 blocks. So we'll bring this down. Obviously on this side, it's going to be 3. So we might change this whole area as well. Would it even matter? Could we bring this to 3? So maybe the building itself comes to 3 and then we have an indent. So it kind of gives extra walking space, and then this could be an inch to the building. Yeah, let's do that. I kind of like that idea. So we'll bring this down to, so now we figure out where we want this building to kind of end. So let's pull this all the way down and we'll pull it here. Again, I'm envisioning a courtyard here. So I imagine that this wall would come out, and then we want there to be enough room here. So let's, I want it to line up with one of those. Okay, so we'll do that. I think that'll look good, and then we can finish that up in that style, and I think that'll work for this building. That way we can kind of use this space, and we'll make this a little bit taller. I don't want it taller than the clock tower, but we'll probably make it to where it's equal with this landing and not this landing to kind of break up this skyline a little bit. And actually we might do the same thing with here. We might actually bring this corner up equal with that, or maybe equal with this third landing. That way it kind of has the stair effect. I think that will be really, really cool. Okay, cool. So we have that. That could be a different episode. I'm gonna play around with the design, get one, then I will show you guys, and then we can finish this block in a different episode. So let's move on over here and let's discuss what we want for this. So because this is historic downtown, I want to keep the buildings more or less like this or like those. Especially on these outer ends. So I'm thinking here with the shield headquarters is what this is, and the media tower. I think having smaller office buildings kind of keep that mid-century look, you know, with the brick, the sandstone, the stone. We're gonna go with smooth sandstone on this one. I think that'll work, and then obviously we'll throw in some stone bricks where we see fit. I am going to go back and texture a lot of these buildings, maybe put some smooth sandstone, or not sandstone, smooth quartz, you know, around that building, around the Freedom Tower, to give it, you know, that weathering look. So we're going to come, so there's 3, 3, 3. So here, that kind of gives us that corner. So we'll do 3 there, right there, right there. So this is kind of like what we're going to be working with. Bring this all the way down this way. And just kind of see, I want to leave like some space for an alley, and I think that'll work there. Let's make it even with that. Yeah, now it's pretty much even with this building. Almost, I think it's one off. Yeah, it's one off. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. And these buildings are mostly going to be square and rectangle, because like you got to think about, like, they're not really going to be, you know, heavily designed like that. Like that's pretty intricate. You know, they're going to be more like this, more like that, some carpentry at the top, you know, that type of typical building. I'm just going to use these stone bricks, this a little bit different. We'll leave a gap of 3, but this building also doesn't have to be that long. We can actually, let's figure out the measurements here. Let's see if these measurements even line up. And these are just small office buildings. I'm thinking maybe this is like an old newspaper building or whatever, or maybe this was like an old factory. Now there's like a bar at the bottom, but there's still office space at top. I don't know how tall I want these buildings. I want them to be a little bit taller than that. You know, probably, you know, maybe around those buildings. But that's what's going to fill out this area over here. For the building that's going to be right next to the media tower, I want it to be a little bit newer. So we got some white concrete here. So we're just going to kind of lay out this building as well. There. So we'll give a little bit of space here. And then we'll also just do the 3. Okay, we'll come out this way. Again, we want there to be some, you know, walking space realistically. So let's go ahead and map out this way. That'll be space because people could like walk through here, you know. This is just going to be an office block. So we'll bring this down. All right. And then that'll give us that building. This building, again, will be a little bit modern. And then we have this space to work with. So what do we want to add here? I already feel like this block is pretty crowded. Don't want to get rid of that building, but would it make sense to? That's the thing. Like doing these changes, you know, like you really start to look at everything that you've already built and you're like, it doesn't make sense there. Like, you know, this design is whatever. I would still like to keep this as a shield headquarters. I think that's really cool, you know. But I don't know. We'll figure it out. That'll be a different video. Maybe I'll do that off camera. We'll see. But for now, I think that'll be good for these kind of buildings here. Because over there, I want there to be more like maybe like apartment buildings, more like kind of townhouse buildings, just like those. All right, so I think today was a pretty productive episode. We established the new boundaries for the bank building. We also zoned 4 new buildings, which I think are gonna look really cool. I'm gonna play with the design, and once I have a design, you know, maybe we'll do another episode with that, or I'll just build them off screen and then just talk about them in the next episode. Let me know what you guys think about the city so far. How are these changes? Do you have any ideas for buildings that I can add in the future? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, guys, my name is Jorvik. I will see you next time.